Well, my mother had never been back to the White House since she left, and I think the only time she went was in 1971 when President and Mrs. Nixon invited us to go and see the official portraits. My brother and I had to pose for this portrait painter as well as while he was painting my mother's portrait, and we really loathed and despised every minute of it. But so we weren't. We were very excited about going back to the White House and seeing the official portraits, much more than we were about any other part of the portrait painting experience. But Mrs. Nixon went out of her way because she knew that my mother was reluctant to come back to the White House. It was really something that brought back so many memories for her, so many painful ones, as well as happy ones. And so my mother had decided that she wasn't going to go back. And but she felt an obligation to continue the tradition of viewing the official portraits. And so Mrs. Nixon arranged for it to be a private family visit, and it allowed my mother to go back to the White House with me and John without a lot of attention. And I think that was really very meaningful to her, and it certainly was to us. President Nixon sent a plane for us, and I remember we were so excited to get on the plane, and everybody was so nice, and they had the special food that we remembered and the special matches with the White House insignia on it, so we were all excited. And when we got there, the president and Mrs. Nixon and Julie and Tricia took us all around and showed us the White House, and their dogs were there, and that was very exciting for us. And John's letter talks about when he got home, our dog was sniffing him and sniffing their dogs, and maybe our dogs remembered the White House. So it was really a nice family get-together. And I think everybody, obviously, I could tell that all the adults were a little apprehensive about the whole thing. But it was a really lovely dinner, and John spilled his milk all over the table, which put everyone at ease. And then I think it allowed my mother to share a lot of her memories with us, and I think she really appreciated Mrs. Nixon's thoughtfulness and the sense that there are family values and a dedication to politics and patriotism that go beyond any disagreement on issues or party. And so I think one of the things you learn having lived in the White House is that there really are these common experiences, and what we share is so much larger than what divides us.